All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So if you watch my videos, I normally don't do stocks back to back, all right? By looking at the weekly and daily charts, my videos are actually good for almost a week, depending on how things play out, all right? I honestly believe yesterday's video would still help you today and obviously tomorrow in the next few days. But yeah, we're going to talk about TTOO, all right? This is not a hype video. All right. I honestly did buy a little bit more today. I'm not pretending I didn't. That said, there are still some bad things that can happen. All right. And I'm going to talk about the bad, not as much as the good. Because, yeah, I obviously bought because I'm hoping we make some silly things go up. Right. But none of my videos are hype videos. None of my videos are like rah pumps. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to give you both sides of what can happen, the good and the bad. All right. But yeah, if you're starting to read some of my comments, like, look, end of the day, regular hours hit 31. If you watched yesterday's video, I literally said, get me at the minimum to 29, get me to like 30, 31, and oh my. And yeah, we're at my oh my number, right? Like, I'm not pretending that didn't happen. And yeah, that made me buy more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm still going to give both sides. The next one's SOUNHOUND. And hey, it looks like good things are happening after hours right now. I haven't seen any real headlines, but good things seem to be happening after hours. Obviously, tomorrow's close matters more. It's literally the exact same things I said about TTOO and Palantir. Palantir went the other way, right? So, SoundHound matters more about tomorrow's close than today. And then MVIS, it looks like bad things are happening after hours right now. Again, we'll talk about the same thing with SoundHound, right? It's the close that matters. But yeah, right now both are dropping some numbers, and market expectation, market reactions matter more than simple opinions from someone like me, or I say this with all due respect, someone like you know what I mean? So we're here to follow what the market tells us, not, what our basic opinions do. But yeah, exciting video today. I'll give you all my opinions and more, but real quick, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at TTO. Can you tell I'm excited? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we will use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video all over the place, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, all right? And one more time, for real, if you can please share the video, man, it does really good things for me, all right? So, look, let's get into it, all right? And what happened today and really yesterday was market earnings, okay? Listen, nothing resets, destroys, or in a lot of ways amplifies sorry, I can't get the thoughts out of I'm excited here. I can't pretend I'm not, right? Look, earnings and earnings reactions really can amplify a lot of things, okay? I think the one thing I actually want to stress, and again, we are like, I can't get the words out of my mouth. Like, I have so much running in my head as I look at this chart, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick breather, okay? Here's how I'm going to do this, all right? The first thing I'm going to do is talk about this gap really quickly, all right? MACD and RSI were in a really different place than we are right now, all right? When we were making this move right here, look at the box over there. RSI was only a 32. The day after, RSI was only 49, all right? That gave me a lot of reason to believe we could make this monster push before we started getting into RSI 84 and RSI 89. Again, 80 is kind of my max comfort level here. 80 generally means, hey, too many people have bought this, we need to cool down, right? So going from 40 to 80, let alone cracking 80 a little bit, oh my gosh, bring me an 18-wheeler and let's fill the cabin with shares, right? Easy decision to make. we're not actually at the same place technically, all right? We're at a 70. Now, don't get me wrong. If we're going to go back all the way up to 89, if not maybe even higher, arguably we've seen it, hey, that's not bad. There's definitely a good little distance of meat there. But if we're actually only going to go from 70 to 80, oh man, it makes the realities of this 60 target just a little bit harder, okay? You with me so far? Again, ask questions on the video if you don't get it. But like I said in the beginning, this isn't going to be a hype video. I definitely bought more shares and I'm excited for 62, but I want to talk about the realities of what could happen, okay? The next thing that can actually happen is, look, on this day, we did not break the 100, right? We were clearly below the blue line on this day. Yes, this day gets over, but a doji is never confirmation. This does not count. A red candle is not confirmation. Obviously, neither is this. Look, this is the first day we're over the 100, okay? Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Man, this is actually the first day since here. No, not even this one. Look, this day closes at 23 something. Whatever. This is the day. Okay, this is just getting technical, but April 1st of 2022 was the last time we actually closed over, right? Like, this was just some little insignificant wick. That was nothing, okay? This is my first real green close day in what sounds like a year and a half, all right? That's huge. We need confirmation. Okay, and very easily this can come back to 50% candle, which is at 28 cents. If you really want to know the truth, as a very worst case, this actually come down all the way to 24. I don't think it will. I think it actually should be pretty hard to lose this 27. But yeah, theoretically, this could come down to the 100 because, yeah, this is only one day and we can't get too excited about one day. We get excited after confirmation. Even though we hit my 31 line, I need confirmation. Doing it once is cool. Doing it more than once, doing it back to back is what makes me believe sustainability is there, is what helps me go to bed at night holding a lot of money on something and waking up and not, you know, getting scared and jumping out of bed, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, look, the things to like are simple moving average rules, right? Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. That's what we did right here. Break the 50, go to the 100. That's what we did right here. Man, break the 100 and go to the 200 means taking us to 85. And this is something I said in the last video, all right? I'm not drawing any lines above this 200 line just yet. Okay, there are clear lines that we can see. There are gaps and gaps, right? Like, keep your expectations low. And I say that with love, right? But like, if you're sitting here with $5 dreams, going from 31 to 62, a 2x of your money seems so insignificant that if we hit this and fall, you're not going to sell. That's, I think, what happened on this day right here. I know I talked about it a lot, right? Like, I had no problem selling at 39 cents. I don't care that I missed 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. I think it even got as high as 45, right? Whatever. I don't care. I made my money, baby. Like, you know what I mean? So, dude, 62 cents is a beautiful target. After that, 84 cents is a fantastic target because that's an extra 33% on top of that 100%, right? Like, you know what I mean? So just don't get too greedy. That's how you mess yourself up. But yeah, there's a lot to like here. There's a MACD that is staying in the positive and looks like it wants to go up. Again, this RSI has been in the high 80s not that long ago. As I zoom out, I remember seeing this. We've been in the 80s before, you know what I mean? So hopefully we can actually live and stay up there. We've seen that across other stocks too, right? But TTOO, a bunch to like on the daily. This is a really interesting weekly, right? Because again, red, we might come as high as 111, let alone the 50 all the way up at like 140. Again, this is a weekly chart, so it's going to take a couple weeks and a couple candles potentially, but when you can drop 1 billion shares any given week, when you're like living at basically 500, let's even just call it 450 million shares, man, you can do a lot of things much, much quicker than a lot of other stocks can do. Look, I'm not trying to call this or compare this to Mullen. Obviously, it's two different things, but Mullen was a badass stock back in the day because Mullen was the king of volume, or the queen of volume, right? TTOO is becoming a volume king or queen. This thing is living as like one of the top 5 or 10 shares traded on a very daily basis, and at times number 1, number 2, or number 3. All right, so volume does a lot. All right, SOUNHOUND. Let's take a look at SOUNHOUND. All right, and I've been stressing how bad things have been in SOUNDHOUND for a bit. All right, my bare bone like rule is bad things happen when you're under these two lines, and you can see it this day exactly. Is like not even that day, it was this day really. Lose both lines and then it just never recovers, right? So much bad right here. What is happening as I'm speaking is earnings are dropping, and that's what's happening as earnings are dropping. All right, that is a monster climb up. I'll be honest with you, if we can get over this 200, this 250 line, oh man, that's when I'll start to get actually really excited. Okay, but yeah, this is really huge. Like I said, when I started making this video, I hadn't seen any headlines just yet, but it was already up like 12% by the time I clicked record. So look, I have zero opinions about what they're saying, because like I said, I barely know what's being said, right? Nothing matters right now. This is super reassuring. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm so glad we're over the 8 instead of seeing this like death candle of red below, right? Like that's an easy thing to say. That said, all my videos are based on regular hours. We need to see where this closes tomorrow. The bare bone minimum is closing over 222. All right, 222, you can see it in the boxes, that 8 moving average, this green line right here. The better number really is getting up to 250. You can see 247 is exactly that 200 moving line in purple right here. But yeah, you got to get over the 200, let alone you got to get over the 20, because again, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. You need to get over both because good things happen over both, right? That's what you see here. So look, one more time, this is this is what I was looking for. This is super reassuring. I don't care that we're now down to 16 instead of that 18, right? Like none of that matters. Look, step 1 is get over the 8. Step 2 is get over the 200. Step 3 is get over the 20. Step 4 is get over all 5 moving averages and fly. And that's what we're really hoping for, because what was happening was we were under all 5 and ready to die. We were. This was such like, if the news wasn't good, I'm actually going to show it from this view right here. If the news didn't make the market happy, I actually genuinely believe we would have seen like a negative 30 or 40%, and we probably would have been sitting right here. For real. Like, earnings is to me a gamble. Am I sad that I wasn't holding shares before this 17% pop hit? No, not at all. I swear on my mom, on my wife, on everything. Like, no, that's a gamble. That's like literally putting tens of thousands of dollars in that $1.55 billion lottery. Even if you bought $10,000 worth of lotto tickets, you're probably not going to hit the super jackpot. You know what I mean? Is what it is, right? So earnings are bad. However, if this earnings reaction holds tomorrow morning, if it's actually even a little better tomorrow morning, yeah, this could be the start of a really important recovery, all right? The one thing I want to show really quickly, okay, I'm back to regular hours right now, and I'm going to zoom in real quick. The one thing I want to show is Palantir, okay? This was today's Palantir, and after hours yesterday when earnings dropped was actually up. It wasn't up a lot, but that's one of the things I said on yesterday's video. I actually didn't mind that it wasn't up a lot. Like, that's kind of not what Palantir is supposed to be. So I think the fact that it was up and then ends up closing at -5 actually ends up wicking the 50 candle, the 50 moving average that I've been saying I think this was going to come down to. I'm surprised Palantir did poorly. All right, I don't think AI has improved just yet. It hasn't. But SOUNDHOUND is still obviously ripping right now post-market. I don't know where this candle is going to close tomorrow. I'll be honest with you, I don't. I think it's a little extreme to think that this whole 16%, whatever it ends up closing in the next 3 hours, right? Like it's, I think it's a little extreme to think the whole thing will go away and it will go back negative. I think my bare bone expectation, this says 226 because it's calculating with the post-market action up, right? So I think 230 is a really important number for tomorrow on SoundHound, all right? There is no point in looking at the weekly. I'll show it just to show it. This was doing horrible, and if it was not for earnings reaction today, I'm telling you, we would have probably come down to 1. Me not being rude or anything like that, right? But today was a wildly important day. What matters is the regular hours close tomorrow, not whatever happens right here, okay? So again, super important step 1. The real important jump is tomorrow's close, all right? All right, we're coming to MVIS, and really I'm going to say almost the exact same things I said about SoundHound. Unfortunately, it's kind of going the opposite way, at least when I started looking, all right? Where are we after hours? We're at a -10, okay? Listen, I have absolutely no idea what the earnings is saying right now, okay? I have no idea at all about, you know, if it sounds good to me as a long-term investor, if it's like, I literally didn't even get to see a headline on this, if you want to know. For all I know, they didn't even drop it yet, and maybe this is kind of like an extended push. I don't know. You know, I love my MVIS people, and I'll get some really good information from you guys, right? And I know you'll tell me both your genuine opinion as a long-term holder, and I think some of you will tell me, yeah, why is the market reacting like this, right? But let me tell you honestly what I'm seeing, right? And it shouldn't be that hard for me to say it. We're under all 5 moving averages right now. The one thing I said on my last video was there was going to be very little in between. We were either going to lose this 200 and die, or man, we were probably going to get over the 20 before we started to attack the 50 and then fly. Like, I did not think there was going to be much of an in-between when earnings came, because we've been going horizontal for a long time now. We actually have, right? Like, you know, I'm glad the drop wasn't worse, don't get me wrong, but I think there's just a little too much to be worried about seeing this. Again, listen to me. Post-market really means nothing. The way this closes tomorrow is what matters, but man, your MACD is starting to get scary, your RSI is starting to get scary, and more than anything, even just taking out the after hours like volume on this stock has been wildly pathetic, and you know I say that with love, right? But dude, the 50 average line, the 50-day average of volume, like this white line is a C. We are sitting in that DF range on most days. I don't even care that it's red, more red than green. Obviously that sucks, right? But dude, I can't believe people aren't buying. My real fear, and again, you know, I am not here to scare you, make you do anything with your money, none of that silly noise, right? But now is where I have to zoom out. And now is where I have to show post-market reaction. And now is where I have to just be really honest, all right? Green could be a real hard red. My next fear is all this kind of insignificant buy and sell, I think really has been what's earnings going to do. Because we saw what last earnings did, and I don't think anyone wanted to be wrong. I'm real worried that we're going to start to see some big red sell volumes. And that might really quickly bring us as low as 199. Hopefully this holds. There's no other line. I'm not going to draw this line right here. I'm not. I can see it. I can definitely see this holding. Dude, I think that's the next line after 250. You know what I mean? And I got to zoom out because I don't know if that's all-time lows. I'm doing it on the weekly. But, oh, shit. Damn. Yeah, look at how strong this last line is, too. It was the base. Oh, yeah. Let's not talk about what happened sub 190, but there's some legit things to be worried about. You know, I've always said this. I am not here to spread fear. I'm not here to be a fanboy. I'm not here to make things pump when they shouldn't. I'm not here to tell you the sky is blue when I see black. And I'm going to tell you, I am seeing the smoke in the sky, all right? It looks like it's at least trying to go back up. Hopefully it's going to try to hold that 200 moving average sitting at 313. Man, I'm seeing an 8 come down. I'm seeing a 20 come down. I'm seeing that 50 starting to curve. Like, it looks like they're going to all death cross that 100, let alone the 200. I'm worried here. I am, all right? So be careful. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, of course, right? But I think there's more to be worried about than excited. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, hey, thank you.